What's up? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest podcast and channel. Thanks for being here, being subbed. If you're not, hit the button. And if you're listening on YouTube, hit that like. It's like walking in the room and hitting that light switch. Let's brighten up the place and get into this conversation. So let's talk about it. I'm going to circle back. It's been definitely a little over a week, but I have had this on my mind and it's been burning the many thoughts that I had about this. And I talked about it a little bit, but I wanted to circle back to it because I just haven't had the time to invest in really getting into this. So I'm going to play some of this Funky Dineva live from about 9 days ago. And some of you may say, well, why are you talking about that? That's old. Yeah, it may have happened a little over a week ago, but I still have thoughts about it because honestly, he is disgusting. I really feel that he gets a whole lot more credit than he deserves. And this is not hate. This definitely is not jealousy. He doesn't have anything that I want or need. Okay? And that's just a lame and tired read. I'm really sick and tired of people who say things like that when someone has critique or criticism about someone that is either online, possibly a celebrity or whatever. And because you have some critiques or criticism or opinions about these people that may not be favorable, the responses in the comments, oh, you're just a hater or you're jealous. Bye. Bye with that. So I say again, this isn't hate. It's definitely not jealousy. He really has nothing that I want. I don't care how many vacations he goes on and all the other stuff that he talks about that he does, because there are a whole lot of people that are living fabulous lives, quote unquote, that are miserable inside. And we know this to be a fact. There's a whole lot of people that on the outside it look like they had everything, and then a news story pops up that they take their lives. And I'm not saying that that's what he wants to do, so please don't put words in my mouth, but I'm just saying, please get out of here with the bull crap about, oh, you're just jealous, because I'm not, okay? But I really am disgusted and offended, and for a long time I've been disgusted by some of the things that he said and done. But let's be clear, I may be a subscriber of Michelle A.T. Brown, and I think I still am subscribed to his YouTube channel. I just haven't watched him in a long time because I've done commentary on my channel where I talked about how I was a follower of Funky Dineva, and I did like, a lot of the things that he talked about, or it was entertaining, just like there's a whole lot of other people, obviously, that are subscribed to his channel, and they are entertained by at least a few things that he does, and that's what pulled them in. And I may also be a subscriber and a supporter of Tasha K as well. But let's be clear, we already know in life that just because you are a subscriber or a supporter or a follower of someone, it does not mean that you agree with every single thing that they say and do. That should go without saying. But I am going to say it because sometimes you really need to let people know that is the case. But even in saying that, it doesn't mean that everybody listens to it or even cares. So I'm saying all of that to say, I truly do believe that Funky Dineva has real issues with women and some other personal issues that he needs to address that he's not addressing. And unfortunately, it will cause him to have these spaz outs like he had a little over a week ago, because of something that he put out there, which was a picture of his crusty, dusty underwear down around his ankles while he was sitting on the toilet, letting people know whatever he had taken or eaten or drunk or whatever had his stomach all tore up. And he decided to put that out there and share that on social media. It wasn't like he put it in a personal group chat and somebody shared it and it got leaked, and then Tasha K and Michelle A.T. Brown decided to post it or discuss it or share it. That's not what happened. So you can't put stuff out there like that and then get mad when people that you don't F with anymore decide to talk about it. Yeah, they could have chosen to dismiss it or ignore it or whatever. Yeah, that definitely could have happened. But he also could have chosen not to put that stuff out there. He chose to do it. So, with all of that being said, guys, he said some things that I was like, hold up, wait a minute. And this is definitely not a hit dog hollering, because when he said the things that he said about the people who are followers or subscribers of Michelle A. Brown, it definitely was not a hit dog hollering over here, because I know I'm a beautiful woman, okay? And I know there are a whole lot of other beautiful, light-skinned, brown-skinned, dark-skinned, whatever women that are subscribers of hers, and they have great lives, and they are not hating the world. They don't hate men. They don't hate gays. They don't, all the stuff that he tried to put her followers in the box of being. And it's extremely offensive, but the reason he did that was he was really trying to sway people's opinions about her away from her to not be supporters of hers, to say, oh, well, you know what, if I support her, if I subscribe to her, if I follow her, then that means that's the type of person that I am. That was some psychological bullcrap that he was trying to do, and I don't know if a lot of people caught it, but honestly, even though there are people that are saying, oh, he doesn't talk about her. No, he may not talk about her a lot, but he has talked about her before. And honestly, if he didn't talk about her in the first place, I wouldn't have known about her. But I knew about her from years ago when he went off on her because she decided to share what she had happened to her place that he rented to her. So he's honestly still bitter about the fact that she put that out there. And some may say, and they may be right, she's still bitter about what he did to her space. But he's the main one, because I heard him say this a lot. You can't do wrong to an MFer and then tell him how to feel. So he did wrong by her. This is how she feels. And hey, if it was 25 years since that had happened and she's still choosing to talk about it, it really is her decision. Some may say it's overkill. Girl, you got your money. They garnish his money. You got the money back for what you sued him for, plus interest or whatever. Move on, get over it. But he, again, is the main one to say, you can't do wrong to somebody and then tell them how to feel. So if this is how she feels and she's choosing to get her licks back because she's still hurt by how he treated her, not just the fact that he tore up her space, but they were friends, like obviously there is some hurt there, is her choice. We may choose not to still talk about it and put it out there or whatever, but if she feels comfortable still doing that and that's what she wants to do, that's her choice. I may not agree with it, but it's her platform and she can do what she wants to do over there. And so, you know, with that being said, I want to just play some of this because I really felt like, oh, wow, this dude really has a whole lot of nerve and a lot of hurt. He may not admit it because he talks about how fabulous his life is and it's so much better than hers. But going back to what I was saying before, I truly do believe that Funky Dineva, I don't care what anyone says, this is my personal opinion and I stand on this. He did not really get big on YouTube because he is this just amazing content creator that had so much savvy and suave and pizzazz and intellect and all of this other stuff that caused him to grow, because he's been on YouTube for a long time. There are people who have been on YouTube for a shorter period of time and they have grown and surpassed him, and they have been doing things in a professional way all along. And I will say, yeah, I was one of those people where I was like sometimes in disgust because he would sit in front of the camera, fart, pick his nose, you know, sit there, crusty face and nose, whatever, and snorting and all kind of stuff and calling people hoes and all, whatever, and very lazy about it. And he was not consistent with his content. We really have to be honest. He would have his times where he would be doing well, like doing videos all the time, and then he'd just fall off. None of my business what's going on in the background, but there were so many times where he was like, well, I've got other stuff in the pocket and I'm about to do some other things. And I remember when he was on Sister Circle, that show that Quad did that was on TV1, that TV channel, and he got fired from that. But when he got the opportunity to do that, he felt like I have arrived, like sort of like the Nene Leakes attitude that she had when she really started to grow on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, and feeling like I don't need this, and this YouTube stuff and doing these reality show reviews, and I'm just like, I've just grown above that and whatever. And then when that opportunity was no longer there, and he didn't, I guess, have the same connects and communications with the people that got him in that position, then it was hurting him a little bit. But let me say this before I, play some of this. Funky Dineva has been, it's pretty much like the lottery, really, when it comes to YouTube. It wasn't because he deserved it. It wasn't because he worked for it. It was because he kind of won. He got chosen. The algorithm chose him to promote and push, and people flocked to him because he was a crusty looking nigga wearing wigs and lipstick and whatever. And like myself, there were a lot of people that got drawn in because it was like, what the hell is this? And it was like a train wreck. You really couldn't help but look at it and watch it. It wasn't because he was so intellectual and so handsome or whatever. It was none of that. It really wasn't. And yeah, he said some things that have been smart or, whatever. But again, for his success that he has had via YouTube, it honestly was like the lottery. It really wasn't because he worked hard for it and earned it and gained it. And I stand on that. I don't care what anybody says. Call me a hater all day long if you want to. That's your opinion. But I'm honestly speaking from the business perspective and just knowing a whole lot more than a lot of people may believe or think that I know. I know these things. There's a whole lot more that I know that I don't go into, because a lot of times I just don't really care. It's like, if you're doing great on YouTube, wonderful. But he talked about Michelle and talking about you're not smarter than me. You don't have a degree. Nigga, you ain't even using your degree. And we heard that you had the job in accounting and you got fired from it. So who freaking cares? You're not using your degree. And when you got it, and even though you say all the time, when I went to school and got my degree in economics or whatever the hell he says all the time, it's a one-liner thing. It doesn't really mean anything. It doesn't. Because there are people that I know, I have clients, multimillionaires. They don't have college degrees. They have trades, and they own half of a city. They own half of a town because their trades have served them well in their businesses, and they're able to serve and do the things that they're doing. So it really doesn't mean much when it comes to a degree, especially these days. So let's just go ahead and get into this.
The truth is entertaining enough. While you sit up here trying to read and hurt this lady talking about a baby that we don't have any pictures of, we got a picture of this. We have a picture of this. Why don't you read Heavenly with this? I promise you, with Heavenly being a dentist and you getting on a platform and reading her with something quantifiable that we can actually see, I promise you this will cut deeper than running around talking about she got a mixed race baby.
So this was him defending his good friend, Heavenly. That bitch. But I'm sorry. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I just can't stand her at this point. But this was that live from about 9-10 days ago. And he's, this is before he goes in on Michelle.
And for all of y'all who claim y'all know my relationship, somebody talking about, oh, you just in Quan purse, she'll never defend you the way you defended. You don't know that. You don't know that. You don't know the nature of my relationships. And you know what? And maybe she wouldn't. And maybe I'm stupid. And maybe I'm naive.
And is. And are. And no, she would not.
I'm a better friend to them than they'll ever be to me. Maybe there was a whole bunch of maybes. But I'm going to call right when I see right, and I'm going to call wrong when I see wrong. And I'm sorry, there's just not finna be a world. There is not finna be a world. I'm still waiting on one of y'all to tell me what the fuck it is Sweet Tea got that make Quad jealous.
And I already talked about that before. Like I said, I don't believe Quad is jealous of Letitia, and I don't believe Letitia used the correct word, but I know exactly what she meant. And yeah, Quad definitely is pressed when it comes to Letitia and Dr. G. Because if she moved on and she didn't want to have anything to do with that relationship anymore, why the hell are you still talking about them? Why are you even acknowledging them? Why are you even referencing them? Why did you go to her bachelorette party? Why are you sitting here talking about you gonna throw a baby shower and I'm hoping this marriage lasts forever? Whatever, girl, please. And he can go too.
And y'all hoes dug real deep. Y'all dug real deep talking about integrity and maturity. That's the best you got? Is that literally the best you got? So when you get called to the carpet and you can't even say nothing, then you want to reach for these intangibles, maturity. I ain't never heard a bitch get in a fight in public and be like, that's why I'm more mature than you. That's why I got more integrity than you. Huh? So for the last time, so we can put this to bed about my friend. And I only, here they go, Quad man is gay. Hey, girl, let me move on. Let me move on.
Hey, they say they say King got a man at home. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they say. But the fact that he was going so hard and heavy for Quad, I truly do believe, because Michelle ATL Brown, she did a live where she was talking about that lawsuit that he was named a defendant in with regards to a stolen Rolls Royce. Yes, Quad was unhappy about it, and she expressed that to Funky Dineva. And I'm not saying she said the actual words, go get her, but I'm quite sure, because you know how Quad loves to make herself a victim, and she just wanted this relationship to just look like, you know, butterflies in the sky and just the best thing since sliced bread, right? So she doesn't want anything negative out there about her man. So the fact that this is someone that she knows Funky Dineva at one time had a relationship with, and, you know, she feels like, well, you're above her, go out there and shut that down. He definitely was influenced by Quad to go in on her, and then taking his own personal feelings into account.
I'll save Chevy Shepherd for tomorrow. I'm gonna do come on, it's not that deep. Here's the thing, but it's not that deep, but that's what y'all like to do. And here y'all go, stolen car. And I hate that I find myself in a position where I'm sitting up here having to do this. Y'all, when y'all don't like somebody, y'all like to take any piece of scatterbutt and run with it. First of all, her car is not stolen. Second of all, third of all, 10th of all, fourth of all, it's King's vehicle that got stolen.
That's not what the lawsuit said.
Let's clear up the stolen car thing. He runs a car business, rented the car to somebody else. That person and whoever they was with stole the car and did fraud. So let me ask them, we're going to take our time now. We're going to take our time. I want to know Miss Stolen Car. Come on. No, I'm not moving on. Somebody said, I'm not moving on. I'm not. For the person who put stolen car, and that's another thing y'all love to do when y'all don't like somebody. I'm not moving on this shit. I'm staying right here. Please drop down in the chat right now and please confirm for us how you know the car is stolen. King was the victim in the situation.
If he was the victim, then why was he named the defendant? Because if he was a victim, wouldn't he be listed as the plaintiff, or not in the lawsuit at all as a party, but maybe as a witness, or just someone listed as someone that's named in the lawsuit but not named as a defendant? Does that make sense?
So now he buys stolen cars. And here is the gag. Even that's not a read, because do you know what your qualifications got to be for you to be able to steal a Rolls Royce? So she still got a nigga that could steal better for her than y'all nigga could do for y'all legitly. So what's the tea? What's the T? And I'm not moving on. I'm staying. Y'all might as well log out because the show over. I'm doing one more story, which is Carisha. Then I'm leaving. But no, I want to talk about it because y'all don't understand sometimes the frustration of being a public person. When y'all take tidbits of information, y'all attach them to people's personalities, and then they become their life stories.
And the reason people are doing that is because Quad was the one that brought this man on Front Street to be on the show, to showcase him, to talk about all of the things that were so perfect and pleasant about him. And then when this lawsuit comes out, and it wasn't a tidbit, it was him being named in the lawsuit as a defendant. Yeah, people have questions. And I, again, didn't say that her car was stolen, but he was named in a lawsuit with regards to being a defendant of having a stolen Rolls Royce. So yeah, it does look some type of way. And for him to be so angry with it like this, you can't tell me that she did not have influence over him with this, because it's like, why do you care that much just because it's your friend? She's the one that's the public figure on the television show, not you.
You can't call her ugly. So what is she, Atlas? This what y'all do. This what y'all do. Because you don't like her, you want to relegate her to average. Child, please. Y'all not finna sit up here. Y'all is not finna sit up here and act like when that girl is not done up, she got above average looks.
So somebody in the comment section said, in all caps, Quad is not a beauty. She's no Toya. And now he's going off defending her looks. I mean, why do you care that much? First of all, you're a gay man. And secondly, who cares if somebody calls her ugly? I mean, that's beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So if that person said Quad is not a beauty, that's that person's opinion. I would never say that Quad is ugly. I don't even care about her looks, but she definitely thinks more highly of herself than she ought to think. And even the Bible says not to do that. So get out of here with the bull crap.
That girl look better than all of y'all ass that go to work. That girl look better. So somebody said, and I'm not trying to be funny, I normally don't bring this type of crap up. They say Michelle Brown started to mess with the stolen car. Lived in Miami for 7 years. Okay? I lived in Miami for 7 years. On top of the 7 years, me and Michelle Brown fell out 3 to 4 years before I even moved to Miami. That is 10 years. It's been a decade without me and Michelle Brown having any sort of contact, communication, whatever. And she still find it her business to sit up on her YouTube channel day in and day out and make it about me. If you go on that girl's YouTube channel right now and search Funky Dineva, 80% of her videos will be about me.
Well, listen, if he gets to the point where he has become the content, that's just a thing. And he can't dictate to who can do that. And just because this is someone that he used to be friends with and they had a falling out, she should not be talking about him or discussing him anymore at all. And because she chooses to do that, that makes her sick in the head and needing to be examined by a specialist. That's extremely offensive. Now, I can say that that may not be what a lot of other people would do, choose to do, or I would even do, because hell, I have had a family member that has done worse to me than this nigga did to her. But and I'm not making content about them at all, if even mentioning it once in a while, but definitely not doing content about it all the time. But that's my choice. I could if I wanted to, but it's her choice. That doesn't mean that she's sick in the head. He may not like it, but it doesn't mean that she has mental problems. And that's what I don't like, because again, he is playing this narrative up to really make people look at her in a way to say, yeah, you know what? He's got a point. Why would she keep there must be something wrong with her mentally. That's disturbing. And I say that from the perspective of someone who is in, I'm dealing with someone that has been diagnosed with, mental health issues due to military service and things that were experienced in the military. That's just not cool. I don't like when people just label someone as mentally sick. It's not cool and it's not fair. But again, he's doing that to play up the narrative. to be negative towards her because he doesn't like what she's saying or what she has said or what she has done. And he has a right to not like it, but to label her mentally sick is just not cool. Now, some may say, well, she's talking about him using drugs. Well, listen, I'm not saying that that's cool either. Again, just because I'm subscribed to someone's channel doesn't mean that I agree with everything that they say and do. But again, it's her platform and it's her choice. And that's actually documented and he has admitted that. So it's like, that's one thing. Labeling her mentally sick is another.
So with that being said, who's winning? I won. I've been won. A decade in, and you still find it in your soul to be upset or throw shade or whatever it is you call yourself doing after a decade of somebody not paying you any attention. A decade. And you're still going. Have at it. Because here is the reality of the situation. I own Michelle Brown. I own Michelle Brown. Michelle Brown is the only person I know that don't like me, that know more about my life than people that like me do.
And how offensive, basically saying, she's my, he didn't use these words, but him saying, I own Michelle Brown, he's pretty much saying, yeah, she's my bitch. She's my slave. Well, I mean, she's making money off of you because every time she talks about you, she's like, you gonna pay me for my pain over and over again. And that's her choice to do it. So for him to say that, it's like, yeah, whatever. Whatever makes you sleep at night or helps you to sleep at night.
People I don't like, I'm not in and out their social media feeds. People I don't like, I'm not on their channels.
And I agree with that. That's how I feel too. I'm not hanging out in spaces where I don't care to see people that I don't rock with, that I don't deal with, that I don't care for. But again, these are personal decisions. So his personal decision doesn't have anything to do with hers.
People I don't like, I don't discuss. And sure, some flipping bitch gonna be like, yeah, but you discussing her now, you must be bothered. Nah, it was relevant to the story. I just brought it up. And I'm going to take it a step further. Here is why people like Michelle Brown do what they do. Because Michelle Brown has done a very good job of cultivating an audience of people who are similarly disenfranchised like her. They are people who are conventionally unattractive.
Bullshit. I am extremely attractive, and I know there are other extremely attractive women that are subscribed to Michelle Brown, and she's not unattractive either. I don't care what anybody says, but again, like I said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's a personal opinion, but for him to say that, he was trying to label it so that those who would listen to that and take that to heart, they would say, you know what, maybe I need to not pay attention to her, maybe I need to unsubscribe to her. If I'm not subscribed to her and I find out who she is, I'm not going to subscribe to her channel, because if I do, that would put me in that category.
Who are miserable, who feels like the world has not given them everything they deserve.
Lies. That definitely doesn't describe me. But again, there is a method to his madness. This is the whole point of him doing this. It is to disenfranchise Michelle and to, detract from those followers of hers, so that they won't feel that, oh, if I follow her, that means that I'm in this category of these miserable black women and extremely unattractive women that he is describing.
And they're also a very niche group of people. They're a group of people who feel like they get shitted on in life because they're a black woman.
Lies. I definitely don't feel that way. And that, again, is to put into the minds of those who are not really thinking for themselves, who are not free thinkers. Because I've said this a lot, or at least more than a few times. YouTube is a huge space. There are so many content creators. You can watch whoever you want to watch. It doesn't mean that all of the people that you are subscribed to like each other. But some people like him, they have this weird way of trying to, I don't know. It's like they're trying to gatekeep people who are subscribed to their channel, if you rock with me, you can't rock with anybody else that I don't like. So I'm going to speak negatively about Michelle Brown, and I'm going to speak negatively about Tasha K. Because if you rock with me, then you definitely shouldn't be rocking with these people. And the truth of the matter is, all three of these channels, I'm quite sure they share a large number of the subscribers that are subscribed to their channels are subscribed to the others' channels. Maybe not, in huge numbers, because, Tasha K has a whole lot more subscribers than him and Michelle Brown. But I'm just saying, I'm quite sure. It's like, why are you trying to gatekeep people? So you're going to label all of the people who are subscribed to her channel. So if you are this type, you definitely should not be, if you are this type, then that means, yeah, you're a subscriber of hers. But if you don't want to fall into this negative category of women, then you should not be subscribed to her channel. And that's bullshit.
Because they're a black woman. Michelle speaks very well to that group of women who are, they hate black women. That's her tribe.
Lies. And that's why I wanted to talk about that, because again, he's trying to gatekeep, okay? He doesn't want the people that are following him to follow her too. And that's what that all boils down to. That's the reason why he really went in on Michelle the way that he did. And also, he did it under the influence of Quad, his so-called friend. And I know from the years back when I would watch his channel more consistently, when he really used to do the reality show reviews, there was a time when when Quad wasn't effing with him. He talked about it. He may not have gone into detail, but he talked about the fact that Quad isn't really, speaking to him or whatever. And and you know how Quad does. She'll get upset if you say something to her that she sees as offensive when it's really not even meant to be that way. So I'm not saying that he even did anything that warranted that. But if you watch Married to Medicine and you saw seasons ago when she got pissed at Toya because Toya called her 3-story condo that she bought an apartment, she was so offended by that she went and bought this huge monstrosity of a mansion that she really doesn't need when it's just her. Even when it was her mama and nephew that was staying there. Because if you recall, the nephew stayed there and the nephew's mother did not. What kind of stuff is that? But anyway, yeah, Quad is the type that will get offended if we've seen this on the show if you watch Married to Medicine. So I don't even need to go into all of these examples, right? So yeah, he's talked about the fact that Quad wasn't speaking to him or whatever and blah, blah, blah. So now that he's back in good graces, he wants to prove his loyalty. So that's why he really went in. This was all under the influence of Quad.
Consecutively. That you smell fresh, I'll never feel any ways tired about you. You old, you fat, you stink, you're not smart, you're non-degreed, you're washed up, your self-esteem is in the dump. You don't have a man, you don't have a baby, 2 things that you wanted, but your pussy was too corroded to get. Nobody in Atlanta sees it for you.
Wow. And this is the type of man that women flock to listen to for his views and opinions on what's trending in the news and on social media. It's just foul. And I don't care how mad you are with somebody, but he really went low, into the gutter. And some may say, well, he just fighting fire with fire because she's done similarly. Okay, the Dave Chappelle drug addict character that she would show and whatever in comparison to him. Again, like I said, I'm not saying I agree with everything that she has said and done, but when she showed that video of the house being tore up, it was. And there was dog crap in the house and urine stains on the floor. And it's like, she chose to put that out there. It was a hurtful moment. And she's, I guess, still hurt from it. Not just because it happened, but how he handled the situation. And I don't believe that if they had been friends and he communicated with her like he should have, that ever would have came to the public. But anyway.
You think you doing something because you be with Nene Leakes, and Nene, what's she doing these days? You have no access to any celebrity circles. You have no access to any networks.
And see, and that's the thing. He's comparing what he has had the opportunity to get. Like I said, lottery situation is not because he deserved it or worked that hard to earn it. But he doesn't like the fact that you can say what you want to say about Nene Leakes, and I've definitely had my fair share of criticisms about her here on my platform. He can't take that away from her, and that's what he hates. He does not like the fact that, yeah, she actually is friends with Nene Leakes and has access to her. She, yeah, you know, it's a show she has on YouTube, but it's got a hell of a lot of views, and I actually watched it and I liked it. I was ready to go in on it, but I actually liked it. She was over in London with Nene Leakes. I mean, he does not like those things. He would love it if she was just some, you know, hobbit in a corner, you know, in Atlanta somewhere doing terribly. But she seems to be living very nicely and not hurting for anything. So, and honestly, when you know that you've really helped someone, you don't mind when the student has surpassed the teacher, because she was the one that helped him to be able to get to where he is. Period. And that is a real thing. Like, do you know how many professors have taught people, and the people who have gone on to graduate and get life and business and work experience and are doing exceptionally well do better than the professors that taught them? It's a real thing. So it's like, when people try to make it out to like, well, he is on YouTube and he has way more followers than she does. Well, that happens. It happens. And it's my opinion, her thing is it's more personal than it is business, and she's decided to use him for content when she has the opportunity to. And he may not like it, but again, it goes back to what he has said. You can't do wrong to a MFer and then tell him how to feel and how to, you know, react to the situation. This is her way of reacting to the situation, albeit many years ago. But again, it's her choice and it's her platform. And if she wants to make money off of it, like he says, pay me for my pain. If she's still hurting and she's getting some, you know, pesos off of that pain, then that's her right to do so. He may not like it, but she's doing it.
I've not seen you on any TV shows, any specials. You don't host anything. You don't get any bookings. You don't shop better than me. You don't eat better than me. You don't live better than me. You don't ride better than me. You don't vacation better than me.
You hear all this superficial bullcrap, but because again, what's in the heart, it comes out of the mouth. He is a superficial person. And he talks about, you're non-degree, you're not smart or whatever. This woman, she's successful. She's made investments. This person, he was on Fox Soul just buying his first luxury vehicle and talking about looking into buying a house. At the point where he was, it's like, you're just looking to do that now? What's been the holdup? So again, it's really not a flex for him to sit and say all of the things that he's been saying when, yeah, he may have a lot of subscribers and be making a lot of money every month, but God forbid something happens with YouTube and you're not being able to make that money every month. You know, it's like, we just got to be careful, especially when it comes with that pride, because you already know what they say about pride.
You don't have better friends than me. You don't smell better than me. You're not smarter than me.
You hear that? You don't have better friends than me. Who says that as an adult? Like, for real.
Me, you're not more articulate than me. You don't have more weight in this space than me. So,
in some point in the video prior to this point, he was talking about people, you know, speaking about integrity like that's a flex, and then he sat and said, you're not more articulate than me. Who cares? Right? Just like he said, who cares about having integrity, you know, in a fight? Who's talking about, I have more integrity than you? And he's talking about, I'm more articulate than you. That was so hypocritical.
What you saying, bitch? What you saying? And moreover, when is it gonna be done? When is it gonna be done, Michelle? This like the sweet tea and quad thing. This like the sweet tea and quad thing. Drop down in the comments and please let me know one thing that Michelle Brown got going on better than me.
Child, Michelle Brown is like that part in she's like that part in Charlie Wilson's song, There Goes My Lady. She's like, you gonna be my target till we old and gray. If that's her choice to do it. Him talking about when is it going to be done. When she say she feel like not talking about you anymore. So, yeah.
Michelle can't go nowhere I can't go. She can't shop nowhere I can't shop. She can't eat nowhere I can't eat. She can't live nowhere I can't live.
Superficial.
But on the flip side of things, I can do all those things 10 times better than her.
Do it.
Oh, Q, this is borderline bullying. No, the fuck is not. That girl got 10 years worth of comments, all about 10 years worth of videos about me, and this right here alone is gonna give her another 10 years worth. Have at it. And see, I'm changing up my tune a little bit because I normally don't address other YouTubers and bloggers and all that. Tasha K, you another one. You another one. I've tried to keep my peace with you, okay? But
before I even play that, here's what I want to say, because Tasha K, she was the officiant of a wedding, okay? She was the officiant of a wedding that he happened to be a guest of. And he was shocked and surprised to see her there. And so, with him pretty much downgrading what she did was out of spite, because he went on to talk about how she was like the hostess and asking people, what are you wearing and whatever, like pretty much trying to say like she was just like the red carpet chick, but she actually officiated the wedding and he didn't like it.
Okay, I want you to know this, and you can put this on record, okay? You can put this on record. The next time I publicly see you, I am going to walk up to you and I'm going to slap the shit out of you, and then I'm already just throw my setup and be ready to fight your husband. And the sad part about it is I actually like your husband a lot. I have no problems with your husband. You, on the other hand, Tasha, you the same raggedy bitch that every time you see me in public, it never fails. Every time you see me in public, you run up in my face trying to be my friend. The last time it was at Spoon's Them wedding. Back up before that, it was at Spoon's Them dinner. I walked in, Tasha K and her husband was sitting at one end of the table. I went and sat down at the other end of the table. I said hello to everyone, including Tasha and her husband. I went and sat at the other end of the table. We get to the end of the dinner. Here come this bitch bringing a chair down from the other end of the table. She gonna come put a chair next to me, talking about so funky, trying to talk to me. And I said to her, Tasha, I don't want to talk to you. I'm not interested in being friends with you. Tasha's response was, Funky Dineva, how can you say that? You don't know me on a personal level. And I said to her, and you've done enough for me to not want to know you on a personal level. I don't want to be your friend. And you sat at the end of that table all but begging me to try to be your friend. We let that ride. I told you, Tasha, I don't want nothing to do with you. Whenever I see you, though, we'll speak and it's cool. Industry courtesy. Ran into you at Spoon's wedding. She was the MC and the person with the mic, interviewing the people, asking them what they had on. I can coexist with anybody.
You hear that? She was the officiant of the wedding. Like, she actually performed the wedding nuptials. So for him to downgrade it, it was hate. It was a shock to him, and he didn't feel that she deserved to, one, be there, and two, do that, because he's pissed that she interviewed Flame Monroe, and she actually was trying to facilitate some meeting of the minds when it comes to the two of them. And Funky Dineva was just so offended. He was just like, I'm down with you. But yet he had discussed her multiple times on TGIF when that show existed, when it was on Fox Soul. But here's the thing. He said he doesn't discuss other YouTubers. The reason he was so offended by these two women, okay? And the reason he says, I don't talk about other YouTubers. He is trying to lay the groundwork so that he does not become the content. And that's what a lot of this boils down to. He's mad that people don't respect the way he decided he was going to keep his mouth off of other YouTubers. And he expected the same in return. But the fact of the matter is, Funky Dineva really doesn't have a whole lot of respect for other content creators on YouTube. And if you saw his interview that he did with Carlos King, he pretty much said that. He was like, a lot of these bitches just need to go and sit down somewhere. Like, who are you? Because a lot of people could have said the same thing about him, sitting on camera, looking crusty and dusty, farting, snorting, rubbing his nose, boogers and snot everywhere and whatever. But people still choose to, come to his platform to watch his content, listen to him talking about how he caught crabs and all kind of stuff he's discussed on his channel. And I don't know if a lot of those, videos are still up. They probably are. Him wearing wigs and red lipstick with crusty lips and all the other stuff and crusty eyes. But him telling Carlos King, a lot of these hoes need to go sit down somewhere. It's like, who are you to dictate who can talk about whatever they want to talk about and create content on a YouTube channel where a freaking cat and a dog can have a YouTube channel? Hell, me and my husband, we have a channel for our dogs. I'm just saying, it's like, who are you to tell somebody they need to go and sit down somewhere? And two, with the luck of the draw of the lottery that he has been able to benefit from being on this platform, what opportunities has he opened up for anyone else? He can say all that stuff he wants to say about Tasha K, but honestly, I have seen Tasha K help other people on this platform. And you know who one of those people have been? Funky Dineva. Because when Funky Dineva's YouTube channel got taken, it was Tasha K that facilitated his channel being restored. He got help from her to get his channel restored, which is one of the reasons why he wound up doing an interview on her channel, because he got pissed that Michelle Brown discussed the fact that his channel got taken. And that interview was taken down. Tasha K took it down out of respect for Michelle Brown. Because there was a whole lot of things that he was saying about her in that interview that it was offensive, just like the stuff that he was saying on his channel that night.
I got out the car. I saw that her ass was emceeing it. I rolled my eyes. I put my big boy panties on. And I said, let me go do the interview. I did it. She did the whole what are you wearing thing. I played nice in the sandbox.
Being fake. But he said he rolled his eyes, right? Why you got to roll your eyes? Again, he was mad that he saw that she was there, didn't expect that. And also the fact that he had to see her officiate the wedding. He was probably like, the audacity. Why out of everyone would they choose her to do this? She doesn't deserve this. She ain't like us. You know?
He get ready to leave the party. I'm leaving. Me, Carlos King, and his friend drove. We leaving the party. I'm sitting in the car, waiting on Carlos. Tasha come walk her ass up to the car, want to hug me, talking about, even though you don't fuck with me, I'm going to keep hugging you, and I'm going to keep trying until you be my friend. She said, I'm going to keep trying, or something she said. These bitches will see you in person and want to be your friend and smile up in your goddamn face. But then they always, Tasha, you somebody who sat in my face and let it be known you want to try to be cool. I'm the one who told you I'm not interested in being friends with you.
Do you know how psychotic this sounds? You're getting upset because this person that you clearly you don't want to be friends with, and that's fine. That's your choice and prerogative. But you're getting upset that they are saying they're trying to be friendly. Whether you think it's fake or not, okay, he probably thought it was fake. But yet and still, it wasn't like she approached him and said, you F word, blah, blah, blah. How dare you not try to, have me facilitate a conversation. You come on my platform and speak to Flame Monroe or anything like that. That was opportunistic for her sake. It was just her being friendly. Whether you thought it was fake or phony or real and you just didn't want to hear it, you want to slap the ass out of her for that? is insane. And I'm not even going to play any more of this, but yeah, I really wanted to talk about this because I just was like, this is insanity. But, you know, the real reason that he went in on Michelle the way that he did was to detract from that group of people that he knows he's helped to find Michelle. Because I've seen people in the comments saying, I didn't even know anything about you until Funky Dineva talked about you. And a lot of people chose to subscribe and stay. Not saying that they unsubscribed from him, because again, like I said, this is a large platform. There are millions of content creators. It's like, this is the choice. People choose to watch who they want to watch. And sometimes the content creators that they watch may not jive with other content creators that they're subscribed to and watch. Get over it. Get over it. And it was influenced by Quad. It was influenced by Quad. And Tasha K, she helped him to get his channel restored when it was taken. And so he was really upset with the fact that out of everybody in the world, this woman that he decided he didn't want to F with anymore because she offended him in some way was the person that he had to watch officiate this wedding of his friends that are in the LGBTQ community. And he really didn't feel that she deserved that opportunity. And that's what it boils down to, you know? So those are my thoughts. I really could say a whole lot more, but this really went a lot longer than I expected it to. And that's why I'm not going to play any more of it. But I really want to know what you guys think. So you let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for being here, liking, and subscribing. I'm Beth, just being beautifully honest. So until next time, I wanted to keep it brief, beautiful. And now I'm going to say bye. Talk to me nice.